cardio activity, I would talk about simple walking also as a cardio activity, okay, or running or cycling. So minimum of 20 to 30 minutes of this activity, followed by a weight training activity. Now, I know you all must be at home, the gyms have not opened. Now, how do you manage doing this weight training activity? Own body weight, okay? So Surya Namaskar is something which I again and again keep on talking about the importance of it. Surya Namaskar is fantastic form of a weight training activity, and I think through our ancient ages, it has always been working wonders. So Surya Namaskars, when it is done right, gives you an aerobic and an anaerobic activity. That's the wonderful part of it. So Surya Namaskars, when I'm doing fast, it is a cardio activity. Surya Namaskars, when I'm doing slow with holds, is an anaerobic weight training activity. And if I'm doing Surya Namaskars, it is also going to give me a mental and a physical balance, and it works for yoga as well. Apart from this, as I was mentioning, why yoga is important, especially your pranayama. It helps you to have a better uptake of oxygen. Better uptake of oxygen, better is removal of the toxins. Certain non-food habits which are going to compromise on your immunity. Okay, what are they? Smoking and alcohol consumption. Okay, why smoking? Very evident. It affects the lung capacity to take up oxygen, and that is why you should not be indulging into smoking for one definite reason, that it is going to reduce the oxygen uptake. Second reason is because it generates a lot of oxidants in the body. Okay, the smoke or the tobacco, it generates a lot of oxidants in the body. These oxidants is something, then your body gets compromised, and then viruses latch on to bodies which are having a lot of oxidants present in it. High level of heart problems, high level of cholesterol. These are all related to the oxidants generation. So these are the two things why smoking should be avoided. They generate free radicals. And excess of alcohol consumption compromises on the liver functioning. One thing you all should really understand is liver, as I was saying, gut is very, very essential for general health. But liver is something that detoxifies and helps our body in most of the ways. Okay, so your liver functioning should be at the maximum level. Now, when you're going to consume alcohol, the detoxification of alcohol always happens in the liver. So what happens is when there is constant detoxification happening, the capacity of your liver starts going down, and automatically the cleansing or the removal of toxins or detoxifying the body gets hampered, gets affected, and ultimately you will see that your immunity is getting compromised. So it is essential that you need to stay away or reduce it as far as possible if you want to have a better immunity. Okay. Now, sleep is very, very essential for improving your immunity. This might sound familiar, this might sound as a new concept, but sleep, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Some people might not need a 7 to 8 hours of sleep. A lot of time, what happens is people like to sleep for 5 hours and then they are fresh. That's okay. But once you get up in the morning, you have to feel fresh. You should not feel groggy. You should not feel heavy in your head. It means that either you've not slept well, either your diet is somewhere affected, or probably you're having some kind of a nutritional deficiency. Okay, so sleep is very, very essential. Now, better sleep gives you a better immune system. As I told you, sleep reduces the cortisol levels in your body, and once the cortisol levels start getting lesser, your sleep is going to be better enhanced. Okay. Sound sleep reduces stress hormones, and as I told you, 6 to 8 hours of sleep is the best that you should. And not just sleep, it should be a sound sleep. That's very, very essential. So you should be focusing on your sleep strategies if you're not sleeping well. And if you're sleeping too much is also not bad. So appropriate sleep is very, very essential. Okay. Okay. Fasting, okay, and I get asked this question n number of times, like how is intermittent fasting? Suddenly it has gained a lot of importance. It is not suddenly gained a lot of importance. It is our old traditional ancient concept, and it is just being circulated in a new fancy modern way. Okay, now what do you mean by fasting? I'm not talking about fasting like you just need to do like 24-hour fasting. No, we are not talking about fasting, that kind of a fasting. What I mean by fasting is when you're having your last meal in the day and the next meal in the morning when you're consuming, try to keep at least a 12-hour gap. Okay, or you can do that somewhere in the daytime also. But then the best is when you're doing that in the night. Now, how can you most easily achieve that? Try to have your meal somewhere at around 8 o'clock in the night time. Till the next day, 8 o'clock, don't really have anything which is solid. Okay. Now, why do we insist or why do we mention that fasting is very, very important? What happens is any food that you consume, your body is then moving towards that food. All your bodily systems are helping in the digestion, absorption, assimilation of those food and the nutrients that are present in it. What happens is because it is constantly working on breakdown of the food, and your body is focused on that, on the digestion part of it. Automatically, what happens is whatever healing of the body that needs to be done, healing of the cells that needs to be done, your body needs to focus on the healing as well. So if your body is constantly focusing on digestion, that system gets compromised. That is why we talk about fasting. Once the food is eaten, if the gap is maintained, the digestion is complete, then the healing process starts. If the healing process is good, the cells rejuvenate, they have a better vitality, better cell vitality, better is the immune system. So that is why fasting is important in that perspective. Now, whether you do a 12-hour fasting or whether you do a 14-hour fasting, it's irrespective. But at least try to do a 12-hour fasting. Now, a lot of people I have seen, they fast for 12 hours and in the remaining, window of probably the rest 8 hours or the rest 10 hours, they end up eating something with, like a diet food. No, if you're going to fast for 12 hours, the rest of the time which is available, see to it that you are consuming enough or, the correct amount of nutrition in the day so that your body digests the food, utilizes this digested food as energy and helping in the healing during that process. So don't diet also and don't do fasting also. That's not going to really work and help you a lot. Okay. Okay. Now, I am going to conclude my talk by just giving you a sample diet plan of how you can translate whatever I told you into an actual thing which you can apply day to day, okay, and help you in the new normal, help you in building up your immunity, and help you to fight the virus inherently and being strong within, okay. So start your day, as I told you, with 1 teaspoon of ghee in the morning and add a pinch of turmeric to it and consume 1 glass of water to it. The reasons are very evident. I have explained enough about it. Now, after 10 minutes, usually, or generally after half an hour, what you do is don't start your day with a tea and coffee. What happens is the caffeine which is present in your tea and coffee is going to compromise upon your metabolic functioning. It's going to get down your metabolism. We don't want that. So the best is to have something like nuts either in the morning, or fruit absorption is the best in the morning. Or even if you want to have a cup of tea, then have that tea in the morning, leave about half an hour or 45 minutes gap, and then have that cup of tea. And don't just have a cup of tea, probably eat it with some kind of dry rusk, or then having it with chapati, a roll of chapati or so. Okay. A protein breakfast, as I told you, breakfast is very essential. How you need to consume it, a protein and a carb combination. So as I said, don't go in for upma, poha and tea. It's all carbs. It's not going to help you in the healing. So protein and a carb is, having oats and milk, something like paneer paratha, thali peet, dal dosas, muesli with milk, or, your Brishas muesli like curds with your oats and fruit put into it and nuts added to it. That's going to be an ideal breakfast. Okay. Your lunch and your dinner should always be by a healthy plate. What's a healthy plate? This is given by the Harvard University. What is a healthy plate? If you consider your food plate as 100%, 25% should be your salads, that is the raw vegetables. 25% should be the subsidies that you're consuming. 25% should be the proteins in the form of your dals, your legumes, or even egg, chicken, fish, meat, poultry. 25% should be the rice and the chapati, that is the carbs, and 1 glass of buttermilk to go with that. This is an ideal situation, okay? It might not happen as ideal as this, okay? So sometimes you might have a koshimir with the weather curd goes into that. So koshimir and salad falls into the same category. Then you'll have a substitute to go with that. Then you'll have definitely a protein with that. So, if you're not having dals, have a curd over there, okay? But you need to have some protein at your lunch and at your dinner time. If you're keeping your dinners light as compared to your lunches, then you could think about having a fiber, that is the salads, and a protein, and compromise on the carbohydrates if you want. But in the lunch, try to have a carb somewhere. We are Indians and we crave for eating carbs, and you should be giving that. And that works much better for us as compared to only protein diets. Okay. At least have about 8 to 10 glasses of water in the day. I keep on mentioning this again and again because water helps to remove toxins. Water is a vehicle for carrying nutrients, and water keeps your skin and your body hydrated, and it helps you to build your immunity. Okay. So with this, I conclude my talk. I hope you are very well adjusted to the new normal. I hope you could have some take-home message. Thank you so much. Thank you for having a patient hearing.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the lecture. And I think we will now take the questions from people. There are a lot of questions. So
I know.
I'll start with the first one.
Okay.
Ma'am, what is your opinion on protein supplement powders?
Okay. So my opinion about protein supplements powder is it should be over and above your healthy diet plan. Okay. Because first of all, let me tell you, protein supplements are not as good absorbed in the body as your natural foods will be because they are not present in a natural environment. So let me give you an example. If you're talking about a whey protein, it is only whey and that's it. But if you consider milk or curd, it will have protein, carbohydrates, then it will have the other nutrients for the absorption of the protein and the carbohydrates. So it's a complete food by itself. So if you are, if you are active, if you're doing an exercise, and if you are wanting to build up muscle, and even after following a healthy diet plan, you're finding like, okay, this is, I'm not really building up muscle, or my fat percentage is not going down. Then introduce a protein supplement. You can think about not having a protein supplement and manage everything through the normal diet itself, and that would be the best idea to.
Okay. Ma'am, how to consume apple cider vinegar and what is the best time to drink?
Okay, so apple cider vinegar is, see, there are different types of apple cider vinegars available in the market. They are the commercial ones, and there is something which looks hazy, and that is the one which I'm talking about. So that is known as it's termed or coined as, mother apple cider vinegar because it is cloudy. Okay. Now, consuming apple cider vinegar should be the first thing in the morning. Now, if you are wanting to consume ghee in the day, but then you want to consume apple cider vinegar, consume the apple cider vinegar about 30 ml added to water. And one thing that you need to do for apple cider vinegar is sip it with a straw. Don't drink it; it damages your teeth. Okay.
Yeah.
So sip it with a straw, and you can consume that first thing in the morning, and then about 10 or 15 minutes after that you can think of consuming the ghee in the diet.
Okay. Ma'am, question is if vitamin C is required for better absorption of iron and if
Yeah.
there is a medical condition which restricts the
Yes.
person on taking citrus fruits and proteins, then what is the solution for replenishment of iron in a vegetarian food diet?
As I told you, vegetarian foods are also having iron, but the absorption, see, so the thing is you need to consume a higher amount of iron-rich foods for vegetarian diets as compared to non-vegetarian foods. As simple as that. That does not mean that non-vegetarian people don't have iron deficiency anemia. It is nothing like that. I was just talking about, absorption point of view. But if you are a pure vegetarian, I will tell you what are the vegetarian sources. Your palak, okay, colocasia, that is your aruji sabzi, then garden cress seeds, nuts like your almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, olive seeds, that is your garden cress seeds, are having a good amount of iron. Okay. Now, for the iron absorption, you don't have to consume the iron. You take iron and then you have vitamin C immediately. No, in the day, consume the iron-rich food. Yeah, Prerak. Hello. Hello.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
You there, Prerak?
Hello, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I thought my call got disconnected. So the next question
Okay.
is somebody has asked, ma'am, what is your opinion on Dikshit diet? Do you agree or do you disagree? What do you feel about it?
Okay. So my opinion about Dikshit diet is he is making sense as far as 2 meals in the day, but what you consume in those 2 meals is also important, because you can't just keep on eating anything and everything that you like in that 1 hour. It is not sensible. You still can continue having 2 meals in the day, and in between you can have fruit or buttermilk or something like that. 2 meals in the day which are wholesome, like the healthy plate method is important. Okay, it's like misinterpreting it. So it's not, it's like following fasting with keeping a gap, but eating wholesome. So you can't end up eating a junk food in that 1 hour which is available. No, that is not sensible. So the part where 2 meals are there and which are going to be balanced is sensible, but the part where you eat whatever you want in that 1 hour, I don't find it sensible.
Okay. Ma'am, what is your opinion on keto diet?
So my opinion about keto diet is generally keto diet is something which you can try if you want to try. But if you ask me, you can also help to help to get lean with the normal eating food and sustain that getting leaner for a longer period of time with the normal diet, because you know you are eating something which is a soul food, like you know your carb. See, basically because we are Indians, we have been made up with a very different genetic makeup, so our carbs have always been higher in the diet. So suddenly moving on to something which is a very high fat or a very high protein diet, our bodies don't accept it as good as you know the westerners, because our bodies are very different. But even if you want to do, a lot of times, even I give my clients keto diet, but I give them something which is known as a modified keto diet. Now, what is a modified keto diet? We maintain a higher protein, we maintain a moderate fat or a high fat, but there is a carb included in the diet, which is slightly higher than whatever you are allowed to eat. And that gives me much, much better results, you know, than following only pure keto diets. I've seen wonders with that kind of a diet. So try to move on to modified keto diet, modified to the Indian make.
Okay. So it has to be tailor-made as per the Indian preference.
It has to be tailor-made, and you know, it can be very sensibly planned. So there are so many people who are following a keto diet with me, seeing wonderful results, but they're still eating a chapati in the afternoon and seeing wonderful results, because you know we've calculated and made the planning that way.
Okay.
So one thing I would say about keto diet is, don't you know just simply read and follow. It might not be applicable to you. Your body is very different. You might just start seeing the fallouts of it. So even if you want to have a keto diet, get it planned from some expert around you. Very important. Very, very important.
Okay. Ma'am, we have a question from a senior surgeon, Dr. Ashutosh. He's a spine surgeon, and he has been quite senior, practicing from past 15 plus years. So he asked, are kids more prone to COVID risk? Because they say we hardly find any serious infection or mortality in kids. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, so because the thing is, we are taking extra care, you know, that we are not exposing the kids outside. We are taking, I think, that extra care that our kids are always at home and we are maintaining that. But the reason why we are expecting that the kids should be at home is for this reason, is that the immunity is not all that well developed as an adult immunity. That's the thing. And we are taking enough of care and seeing that, you know, the kids are the least exposed and the least, we are not allowing them to move outside. So that is also one more reason that we are not getting so many results also out of it, that they are not being affected as much.
Okay. Ma'am.
But WHO also gives the guidelines that the kids are more prone to it for this particular reason.
Okay. Now we'll take just 2 more questions because we are running out of time. So ma'am, whey protein, soy protein, or any other plant protein, which one do you suggest?
Whey protein.
Whey protein?
Yes. The reason being, whey protein is better absorbed in the body. Soy protein has a little bit of a fallouts these days, because you know, especially in women, because of the chances of developing breast cancer or having high estrogen levels built up later on. So whey protein is the safest, I would say. And as far as peas protein is concerned, that is a new thing that has really come up. But the thing is, pea protein is getting a little difficult to digest. So the whey protein, if these 3 supplements are to be considered, I go in for whey protein.
Okay. Ma'am, now
but more than that, just a minute. One more thing I would like to say is, more than whey protein, try to have a skimmed milk powder. You know, that's still better than having a whey protein, because that is milk just in the powdered form, but still having the other nutrients present in it. So go in for a milk powder, skim milk powder, and then think about a whey protein.
Okay.
You can do it that way also.
Okay. Ma'am, I think we'll take the last question for today. There are many questions, but we are running out of time. So somebody asked, what is the best diet protocol to reduce the body weight post-pregnancy after 10 months?
The best protocol is start with an active exercise, because even if you're breastfeeding, your infant is not dependent upon your feed. You can easily begin with your active exercise, and if you're wanting to lose weight, start with half an hour every day. Move up, scale it up to 1 hour every day. Have a balanced diet. Don't compromise on your nutrients, or don't follow keto diet and all when you're feeding. It compromises on the quality of milk. So have a balanced diet. Introduce exercise as a very important aspect, and you are going to get fit in the next 3 to 4 months time.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I think we are done for today's session. It was very nice of you, ma'am, taking out time on a Sunday and, guiding us all through and clearing so many myths and so many facts which we were having.
My pleasure.
It was very nice having you, ma'am.
Prerak, if anybody wants to ask any more questions, they can write into me at avanti@avantideshpande.com.
Great, ma'am. I'll share these details with everyone so that
Yes.
they can actually have
because I know nutrition is such a vast topic and there are so many myths around. So if I can help to solve them, nothing like it.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for those words, and it really thank
My
you.
My pleasure. Thank you, people, for a patient hearing. Thank you so much.
Please take care, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.